or the perverted cannot say that she is awakening.
A religious person, a sannyasi, a monk, did not meditate.
శ్రీ స్వాముల వారు ఈ క్రింది విధంగా ప్రత్యుత్తరం ఇచ్చారు. ఇక తెల్లవారి
A beautiful light emerging from the base of the tree and ending at the feet of Mother Kanyakumari in the last bit of Indian rock. When he saw his mother, the motherland, in your own civil dress uniform, a soldier of the country, whether it's the Ramakrishna Mission or whether it's in your college, why not? Superstition, women's education, not this one, but and later moved to Jairampati, a small village at the time of Kasari. On Brahmanlo, in that village, she saw 2 pregnant women.
Life on Yemen in 2015. I request all of you to.
And we are all assembled here, those who are in this hall and those who are watching through the LED screen outside. It's indeed a very, very, very important phase of our country. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. 75 years of freedom of this great country. 700 years of slavery till 1947. But later, turning point came, as all of you know, as students of history. 1857. The first war of Indian independence, Sepoy Mutiny, started by Mangal Pandey and took over by Jhansi Lakshmibai. But then, jealousy, misunderstanding, selfishness in the minds of our own people, within 6 months or within 1 year, the entire freedom struggle was suppressed by Lord Canning, Lord Dalhousie and others. Swami Vivekananda becomes emotional, becomes very sad in expressing that particular incident of the young lady called Jhansi Ki Rani Lakshmibai. And for that one mistake, which her own minister was purchased by Lord Canning, we had to wait for another 90 years to be independent in the normal sense of the term. But please understand, my dear young friends, who will be taking great responsibilities in the future, the young college students. The turning point came in 1893. India conquered the world by a monk at a time when we were all suppressed, called colonial Raj, the British Raj. Can you imagine this great country was called a colony of Queen Victoria, colony of England, a great country of the sages and ages and ages of Sanatana Dharma, made into a small ruling colony. And here is a monk who goes to Chicago all the way. And before that, don't forget, Swami Vivekananda's travel from the Himalayas to Kanyakumari, understanding India not by the textbooks, not by somebody's telling hearsay, but wanted to have first-hand information. What exactly is this Bharata? What exactly is this culture? He met the sweepers, he met the fishermen, he met the poorest of the poor, and he met the Rajas, the Maharajas, hundreds of them all over the country. He saw tribalism, he saw confusion, he saw the great India.
Do is I will try not to be preachy, and I will also try not to be prescriptive. It's very difficult because I'm supposed to be speaking to the youth about India and providing a perspective that will interest them in the future of India. And therefore sometimes we tend to get preachy and we tend to get prescriptive, but I will try to avoid that to the extent possible. What I will therefore do is I will outline a few concepts and I will introduce a few enabling ideas and attitudes. Thereafter I will leave it to your good judgment to see what works for you and how you can work for the country. since we are basically talking about India and about loving and serving India, let me start by reminding all of you what it means to be a nation, a state and a country. These are three different terms which we often use interchangeably. But a nation is essentially a group of people who have had a common past and have a vision of a common future. And that is what brings us together. A state, on the other hand, is essentially a conglomeration of rules and regulations and government and institutions that tends to regulate the chaos. Because if there were no rules and regulations, we would slip into some kind of chaos. And therefore, to regulate that in the right direction, you have an institution which is called the state. And the third thing is the country. A country is a nation state, that is a nation and a state with a geographical area. So this is the subtle difference between a nation, a state and a country. Therefore, India is a nation, it is a state, it is a country, and this is what it means to all of us. Now, when you talk of a nation, we must understand what is nationalism. And that is what we are here to talk about. India. We are talking about India. We are talking about a nation. Therefore, we are talking about nationalism. So, what does nationalism mean? Nationalism is a concept that has developed over a period of time. It is a very recent concept. Human beings have existed for the last 2 million years. Homo sapiens, as we know it today, have lived for the last 70,000 years in the manner that we understand. They were then living in small hunter-gatherer groups.